got a beautiful feeling, everything's going my way. Hey, y'all, come on in, you're here on a great day.
We have the third soap today from the Doppelgänger Continuum series at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet. Hey, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Come on in, y'all. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres on YouTube, why? Come on in the live chat. Meet the Whiff Pack, a cool group of friends from all over the world hanging out. They'd love to meet you, too.
They would. And for our mention today, we wanted to talk about the PAA shampoo pucks. We have Old Salty ready to go into the shower next. And if you'd like, you can get these fancy, cute little containers that you could store them in.
And y'all, what a great way to experience a PAA scent. Something about the water, something about the lather surrounds me in a whirlwind of it in the shower every morning. And I love having my favorite scents there, especially Blue Moon Bay Rum. Honorable mention, the beach is in there right now. The one caveat, they do get your hair squeaky clean, so we pair it with a conditioner bar from Sterling. But what a great way to get to know some of your favorite scents. And what is our soap today?
All I know is that it's from 1988, so I'm excited to see what this third one in the Continuum series is about.
Let's meet the soap. All right, y'all, from the sales page at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
Back in the day, before algorithms knew your middle name and before your mail came with more bills than thrills, there existed a mysterious monthly ritual, the Time Life Mysteries of the Unknown series. For Douglas, each new volume was like cracking open a portal to the esoteric. Fast forward to today, and Fran has harnessed that very spirit of serialized wonder for something equally legendary, the Doppelgänger Continuum collection. But instead of hauntings and ley lines, we're diving deep into the haunted halls of vintage perfumery, exhuming the discontinued and the revered. This isn't nostalgia for nostalgia's sake, it's preservation for aromatic art. And our third entry, a bona fide olfactory unicorn, Continuum 3, The Nobleman Returns. There are power scents, and then there are sovereign scents. Gucci Noble, launched in 1988, was never about brute force. In an age of overbuilt alpha bombs and locker room swagger, Noble stood apart like a velvet-clad strategist.
Crafted in the golden hour of fougères, its opening of bergamot, lavender, lemon, and tarragon set a brisk, herbal tone that's clean without being sterile. The heart beats with coniferous fir, floral nuance, and cool elegance, while the base, rich in oak moss, sandalwood, amber, and vetiver, whispers of ancient forests and impeccably tailored Italian suits. Though quietly discontinued in the early 2000s and suspected to have undergone a few silent tweaks along the way, which may or may not be true, Noble's cult status only grew. Today, it fetches $200 to $600 a bottle if you can even find it, and vintage fragrance aficionados speak its name in reverent tones. This isn't just a scent. It's a benchmark in refined masculinity. Just like Paul Rubens.
Our homage, another Shave Den resurrection. Continuum 3 isn't a carbon copy. It's a treasure map drawn in lavender, fir, amber, and oak moss. Our homage was built with respect and restraint. The same mossy depth, the same herbal clarity, the same whispering nobility, the same continuum epicness. Whether you're a fraghead, a newly converted scent scholar, or just someone with a deeply ingrained aversion to mediocrity, this one's for you. But take note, like all entries in the Doppelgänger Continuum, it won't be around forever.
Each Continuum series comes with its own lore and learning because we believe that fragrance should excite the nose and the mind. By year's end, your collection will be the envy of any self-respecting olfactory time traveler. So stay tuned. The mystery continues. Doppelgänger. Number 3. So Chanel's Cure de Rosé, Creed's Green Valley? Y'all, who knows where this one might be taking us, but we can find out when we open the box. This is how you know they send it for free to review, because we don't have restraint to only buy one set at a time.
All right, let's show our friends how they come.
beautiful. There's the special
Splash
foamy
on top.
paper on the aftershave. Can I please have my hand back?
What? We get a...
Oh, yo! If you are one of the first 50 purchasers of a full set of a soap and a splash, you get the special limited edition hollow
Look
label.
also, it's different than the last two.
And look, there's the guy from the first two. This is way different. They're like riding a Loch Ness monster through a pool of lava. I am in for this. The tape folder is no longer there. If you know, you know. Put it in the comments. Oh, and the special Doppelgänger Continuum box for the aftershave. Look how beautiful that is, y'all. And these are not planets. They're Douglas's eyeballs, which is why I think we're students, because we're the pupils. Get it?
Will it match?
Oh,
Let's see.
so the special confetti. There we go. Oh, it does!
Okay.
Matchmaking these perfect Doppelgänger Continuum friends. And there's only one thing left to do at this point, and that is to have our first impression.
I feel like I should make you go first. It's been a while.
I will take it in. I'm not going to say no. Sometimes I like to watch your reaction and gauge my own, but I will tread deftly into this territory. All right, here we go. Oh, beautiful. Pour right there.
Oh, and the side label is the same, so that part stayed.
I have no idea what to expect from this. Okay, here we go.
1988, here we come.
Oh, my God.
Yeah?
Okay, y'all, constant viewers will know that there is something in the perfumery world called a fougere. And gentlemen, the barbershops are basically built on them. Coumarin, oak moss. There are very established things that are in it. And y'all, I was expecting a fougere because that's kind of the subtitle of this. But I was not expecting it to be cold and bracing and beautiful for the summer, because you don't want to put a warm, ferny thing on your face when it's 110 degrees outside. The first thing that met me here was a blast of cool that was akin to something menthol might even do. And then that dove down into the fougere, something beautifully minty, something slightly coolly metallic, like think Gucci Envy.
Oh.
Yo, I'm glad I wore a sweatshirt to film this. Hold on. And you wouldn't think, like, that's why it's a miracle. You wouldn't think fougeres would do so beautifully in the freezer, but there was just something about the crispness of the morning air as it meets the warmth of the ferns and the bergamot and everything else that's going on in here. Y'all, they went to extremes and then put you right there in the middle to feel the pull. This is crazy. And y'all, look at my face. This is intense. Where Green Valley sat at like a 2 for me, Doppelgänger number 2. This one's like a 4.
Out of 5. Okay.
Yeah, hold on.
So I'm taking it we're grateful that Fran and Douglas dug this one out.
Amazing. And here's the thing. After 600 episodes of this show and a ton of homages to some super classic colognes and perfumes, I did not know this territory at all. What a balance.
We are getting educated.
Dive in a little bit. Oh, for sure. Well, y'all, just for fun, we thought we'd make a wedding favor EDP. We thought, well, 600 episodes, we might know a little bit of what we're doing. We were wrong. It has been months now, and our journey has been slow to get started. In fact, this is a look at our current workstation as we are attempting to put together a very simple fragrance. Y'all, this is crazy how they were able to do something like this. Well, okay, hold on. Let me give you a little bit of an overview as to like what centered this is. Hold on.
I feel like I tried to erase and not listen to the scent notes too much, so see if you can get us there.
I've got something resinous, like at the very bottom, I've got a super cool, beautiful citrus sitting in the middle that doesn't have necessarily its own character. I don't catch it as bergamot. I don't think it's lime. I don't think it's lemon. I think it's the best characters of all of those.
Okay.
And I do know now that there are certain molecules that you can get that bring out just the best internal parts of the citrus or the very outside wisps of it. This was delicately crafted. And then at the end, something minty and bordering on ambery that doesn't go all the way to amber. So amber without sweet, amber without the vanilla. Woo! And again, we've done a couple of amber fougères. That's not really where I'd put this. This does have the coolness of those kind of things, but it goes way further in that direction. And I have no idea how they did it without menthol. Wow. Okay, hold on.
So are you getting any of the greens like that?
It's like neon green.
Got it.
It's like neon winter green without being winter green.
Because look at the sticker. It has orange and green. So then that's why I wasn't sure which way to go.
I'm getting like bright fluorescent lights. Y'all, this is crazy. And then I kind of want to say minty.
Okay.
But it's not, because then it turns into something a little bit more resinous and almost like a hotel lobby kind of a thing. But it is Gucci. And I guess here's the best thing I could say. I can tell that this has the complexity of a Gucci scent. For me, it's kind of a high echelon. The stuff that they're doing at that house is incredible, both in its balance and in its ingredient lists. And this absolutely has that olfactory fingerprint of those master perfumers in this. What a beautiful homage this is.
How masculine is it? Is it definitely more of a men's cologne?
That's a really good question. Hold on.
From that list, it's hard to tell.
Hold on. I am not sure.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's an element of it, that little cool metallic that's like a gentleman. I totally get that. Something about a freshly pressed suit and a pair of leather shoes that you can see yourself in and a briefcase. There's just something that to it. But then it's got this like ferny underbelly that goes sweet, but not too sweet and almost floral that for me does have a bit of a feminine character. So it's kind of like putting all of that together and mixy in the middle. I just still can't get over how cold this is. And
like
yet,
a foggy morning cold?
Like an air conditioner. Because you can feel the summer heat, but then you can feel coming into this, and it just soothes you. I can't wait for you to smell this.
I just got the image of when you walk into Costco, and you could walk into the fridge, and you're like,
back when we had a walk-in freezer, and you do that. Absolutely, that's what this feels like.
Interesting.
Take it in. See if you agree.
An adventure. I want to know, is this like a Loch Ness Monster cousin? Like, I have lots of questions.
Once it's lava and you start sweating, and I'm totally wrong about the cold, but I think I'm going to put my flag in this. I will die on this hill. See what you think. Take it in.
I'm so intrigued.
I know. You should be.
I know we've done a few from Gucci, but I don't know, like, we've done a lot more creeds. So I feel like I can start to connect the houses a little bit. Like, I'm curious to get the 1988 one of this.
And y'all, for me, Creed and Gucci are like this. This is Gucci. They are not similar. All right, take it in. I am excited because, well, this.
I am so curious, like, from your description, like, what I thought I had in mind, and then now I'm like, I don't know what this will be.
I know that you love black magic. You love our amber fougères.
I'm intrigued by those.
This can blow your skirt way up. I normally don't put preconceived notions on you.
Well, from the way you were describing it, I kind of was getting the subtle hints that it could be something like that, but now I'm diving in.
Take this in.
We'll see.
This is a luxurious experience.
I get the briskness. And I definitely, my brain goes to immediately more of the green, herby, oak mossy. At the end of the whiff, my nose gets tickled with the little orange side, citrusy, but it's almost like an orange herb.
Yes.
Or the skin of an orange that's been turned into like a potpourri orange, like it's dried, like it's not its normal form, if that makes sense. Wow. Okay. And then I got an image of like my little kid version of hanging out in Fern Gully for some reason.
Oh, right.
Because it's super green everywhere.
Yes.
But then the little fairy guys have tons of colors all over them. So like the colors you were talking about, I kind of got that vibe of like, I'm definitely in the greenery, but there's something with me. It's not just a green fougere vibe. No. Like there's other vibrancy turned up, and you're right. It's morning. It is not an evening to me. It's a start the day kind of scent. I don't know how that's coming across. And it's crisp. It's chilly. There's like the fog layer is chilling in that Fern Gully with me.
Right. And y'all, if you camped in California growing up, when you do wake up in the morning, it's cold. You need your Mount Everest sleeping bags. And the fog is definitely creeping in over the ferns. That's the sense I get.
It's not a normal orange. I'm trying to figure out, is it like an orange blossom? It's a mandarin or a tangerine. Like there's something softening the edges, but it's still neon orange somehow.
It's a little candied for me somehow.
But I still think I get mostly the green goods.
Right.
It's close to the minty vibe, but it's not. It's almost like a basil or some kind of a herb that, like, I can feel the texture of the leaves somehow. Right. I don't think it's the rosemary, but it's those vibrant ones. As soon as you crack the leaf, you know, like the scent gets turned up somehow. It's alive.
Maybe it's hold on a second. Yeah? Maybe it's the rosemary.
I don't know.
Because that does have a bracing, wintry thing for me. Hold on.
It has that crispy colors, but sometimes rosemary is a little more sweet.
Yeah, no. If rosemary is a part of it, it's 10% of the accord. I don't know what's in the rest of that accord. That's gorgeous.
It's funny because we literally just ordered an oak moss by itself.
True.
And I feel like that would have really helped in this moment. I feel like there's something in the oak moss that we think of as like a really dark green,
No.
but I think it's lighter.
Yeah,
I think
right,
it's
right.
prettier
Yes.
than our brains are letting us
Yes.
think of it.
But it is a mossy sense, oak moss, like for reals. But yeah, kind of a whiter cream.
Because I'm getting that here.
Yeah, well, for
but-
sure. Oh yeah, 100% there's oak moss in this. I'd say the oak moss is like 50% of that accord for me, that one part of it, yeah.
But it's like a bright green, vibrant, alive version.
Right.
Where sometimes when we have oak mossy stuff in a fragrance, it's much more that dried, lighter
Yeah,
green. Like something's
right.
been happening to it.
Glastonbury's more like an outdoor music festival kind of vibe. But yeah, no, this is different. This is the alive kind.
The dampness from the fog or something is
right.
turning up.
Yes.
And there's spices that I almost want to cook with. So that's why I think I'm like kind of in that like rosemary, basil kind of like they are turned up.
You're right, not a gourmand, but those are the kind of spice in there. A little bit of a bubble bathy hint for me.
Yeah, like if I could walk into a greenhouse, but it was only full of spices and herbs,
Right.
There's something about that in here.
Kind of like that part of E.T. where it's all the smoky ferns and things going on. Not red ferns. I'm never discussing where the red ferns grows.
Now I'm stuck in like a white color, like whatever the foggy, crispy, it's almost like the prettiest white stone, white sage kind of a thing
I'm with
that's
you.
in there.
All right, so masculine or feminine? I was really flummoxed on this. Where's it putting you?
I want to say it's masculine, but it's only like just slightly over that line. I think whatever I don't even know if they're florals, there's something in there besides the herbs. There is something that we can coexist equally right next to each other, that it wouldn't be overpoweringly masculine.
Right.
Like I think when we get to the splash, we'll know. But I think whatever that kind of orangey hit and the other white side could be enough for me to wear and not feel like it's only a complete fougere.
Right. Well, y'all, I've been looking forward to this. I want to dive back in and see what is in this beautiful soap. Let's look at the scent notes and build a lather. And if you are here at the live premiere, and I hope you're in the chat talking to us right now, Doppelgänger number 3 will drop this weekend, July 2025. And back to the sales page at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, we have top notes of
Bergamot, lavender, lemon, nutmeg blossom, tarragon, and rosemary. Hey, go
So
me!
it's just what you expect, and then it comes right off the rails.
Yep.
So bergamot, lavender, lemon, check, check.
They're there.
The beginning of a phenomenal barbershop, and then it takes that Gucci left-hand turn. Okay, hold on. We have seen this one time before, and I'm pretty sure it was Barrister and Man. How are you getting the nutmeg blossom?
I feel like I can smell it now that I've read that.
know.
But I just knew there was a spice. I wouldn't have known how to tell you what it was because it wasn't normal.
That's your floral. Just subtle, a blossom, and then mixing with nutmeg. Beautiful. Tarragon. That's your spice. You
Yep.
said cooking spice. You are so much smarter than me. Rosemary also qualifies. Wow. Now, y'all, at the beginning of the show, I kind of used to think that top notes were like the lighter sensed notes. Heart notes had a little bit more girth to them, and bass notes were like the loud notes.
Yep.
But it turns out, while it is a tiny bit like that, it's more about which notes wear off first. So if you do put on the cologne or the EDP, the bergamot, lavender, and lemon are not going to last as long as what's in these next 2 tiers. The heart notes are.
Oh, see, I wondered if there was florals in here, but they were sneaky.
Yep.
Okay, jasmine, fir, geranium, cyclamen, carnation, and rose.
God, I love a carnation
Yep.
scent. And I think the way the florals are combining with the fir is the miracle of this. They're almost in a perfect 1-for-1 balance, fir with florals. How are you getting the jasmine? Do you sense it on its own?
Okay, I knew the white cleanliness had to be some florals. I just didn't know which ones. And it makes sense now seeing the jasmine next to the geranium.
Right.
Those two are a little bossy, but somehow that's just making me know it's morning. Like we both said, like it's a bright start to the day somehow, and they're in there.
And then, Mr. Gucci, how did you do this? Because I tried super hard to fit a rose into our EDP and
They're
had
not
nothing
friends.
but failure after failure after failure. There is rose in this, but it's not being used the way I was trying to do. How do you sense it? Because I'm not getting the heart of a rose in this.
It's funny because right now I have not read anything that's an orange. Remember I said like an
You
orange
did,
peel
right.
kind of vibe?
100%.
And I think the florals and the carnation and the rose, there's something in that's like the dried leaf somehow.
Boy, you are so right. You should get an award for this one. Base notes of oak moss, rich and pungent in the base of this.
And then, interesting, sandalwood, cedarwood, Vetiver makes sense. Patchouli makes sense. Here's your amber, tonka bean, and musk.
I was right about something. Hey, that's beautiful. Tonka bean also has a healthy dose of coumarin in it, which is going to give you that fougere-ness to it. Ooh, and the musks. I can't even begin to guess. Maybe like a laxolide or something like that.
It's interesting because I feel like maybe just now, as of today, I'm really understanding the fougere category.
Yeah, me too.
Like, there's so many ones that have said that in the write-up, and I think I'm like, okay, I think I get it. But I usually am overpowered with the oak moss or something that's blatantly fougere.
Right.
This one is a little more hidden, but it's helping me understand more of the orange one, the amber side, or a green fougere.
Well, yeah, it's funny. It's hidden. For sure.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Like when I took this in. And yet, at the same time, for me, kind of a textbook definition of a fougere. And I'm not sure how those two are happening at the same time. Y'all, this is my Cyclotrode X brush. I usually introduce this by saying how soft the bristles are, but you know what I realized today? This has a really hefty backbone. So if you do like a backbone in your brushes like me, you might want to look at this one from PAA. These are bougie sticks from Amazon.com, so we don't contaminate our soap. And I'm just going to grab a little bit less or a little bit more than an almond size. And that's going to go in here to our lather lid. These are from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, and they fit right onto the soap if you are traveling, and then right into your carry-on, so you don't have to shave like a caveman on vacation. This is our Smaldridge Memorial Bougie Sprayer. We have to send it back to the Smaldridges every 2 weeks for a refill. And y'all, we don't do the flat plane method here with the lather lid because somehow the mystery of these nooks, crannies, and slats do just as good a job. So we're going to go forwards and go backwards and just start loading that soap onto the bristles before we go down and grab the rest of that water. And then every so often turn the brush, give the bristles a new orientation to get at that soap. And y'all, look at that. Most of the soap is gone. Where'd it go? It's in here among the trees. And then once it's all pretty much loaded up onto the brush, I'm going to go down and grab the water and then start building my lather.
A few moments later.
Douglas only had one piece of advice at the beginning of our journey. He said, make sure you build a lather on the show because my perfuming is more about the scent that you're going to get once you add some water and lather it up.
Or ideally, when we get to the splash as well.
Even better, the EDP. Okay, I don't know how better to say this. There were a few extra things in here because normally, an amber fougere like this would get way too pokey for me. It would. Y'all, this doesn't. I can't get enough of this, and I am not sure how they have not only shaved off the pokey, but like snapped it off at the base and made this absolutely phenomenal. I don't know if until now I would have said I was a fan of amber fougeres, and now knowing what they're meant to be, absolutely, this is crazy. Okay, this is something you'll only find here on the Barbershop Duet. This is the scary fougere. This is the bougere with on 3, 1, 2. Dude. Okay, you know what it is for me? Okay, look at my face. Oak moss alone is pokey. It's scrunchy. Somehow, whatever they have done with it in here, it is one of my new favorite things in the whole world. How did they do that? That's crazy.
I'm trying to think of a better word to use than fougere. Like, if people don't know what that means, like, it's crisp, it's brisk, it's bright, and it's like full of that zesty spice, maybe?
And yet, foggy and ferny at the same time. Earthy, deep, mossy. All of that in a perfect balance, and we better take this deeper if we're going to figure out any of it. And y'all, when we do watch our I'd Lather Be Shaving videos with Douglas and Matt Basarczyk, by the way, the page razor drops today, we love seeing how that soap coats the face. And while we don't do shaving here in the Barbershop Duet, I do want to get this a little closer to my nose and see what I get. Would you like to try too?
Yes, please. I love using this brush.
Oh.
Super soft.
This is so masculine. This is bordering on like a classic 60s aftershave kind of thing in that sense.
Yeah, now that we've lathered it up, it kind of turned it right over the edge to be definitely more masculine.
It's almost like Gucci found an aftershave in the 60s and gave it a Gucci treatment.
Like the tier of the scent quality. I definitely can see its place. It's interesting to me that it's 1988.
Right.
Like, part of my brain could put it in that classic aftershave homages that's like more 60s early on.
Right.
And then there's something that could be like, they just came out with this year. Like, well, I don't get it.
I was still little. You were barely born in 1988. This is about what the grown-ups were smelling like. This is what you'd wear out to a nice night on the town kind of a thing. So I was still over there with my Zugu in the bathtub. Are you ready to try this splash? And here's my favorite part of the splash is the little plug that comes in the restrictor. Because if you shake up your aftershave and you get your finger under it just right, you can make it make a fun little noise. Here we go. 1, 2. Ah, there it is. All right. You want to go
it's kind
first?
Of cloudy and yellowy.
Oh, it's got some stuff in it. I used to think the cloudiness might be menthol, but I was wrong. All right, here we go. Chit-chat. Oh,
it stays pretty close to the splash.
It really does, and yet I'm getting kind of a spearmint hit inside of this.
Well, now I'm getting more of the orangey side, but
yes.
there's nothing orange. I mean, bergamot, maybe?
And a tiny, tiny bit of the Gucci Envy.
Yeah, maybe.
DNA from Greenwich.
A little sweeter
might be in this
and
too.
Yeah.
But what the oak moss is doing in here is the miracle. That's crazy how they have gotten me to adore oak moss on this level. Here we are.
Sometimes fougères do have that in-your-face, like, kind of bossy side.
Right.
And somehow, in the splash here, that part is really turned down.
Yes.
I'm not getting that, like, okay, hold on. Sometimes you can really tell that perfume house kind of, the scent lists are so long that you're like, I can't even pull it apart. It's so like, whoa! But this has such a gentle side in the splash.
And you know how sometimes I talk about the bubble bath?
Yeah.
This is just as clean, but done in exactly the other way. I think the bubble bath's more about man-made soaps and perfumes and bubbles. This is more about, like, nature's clean. This is more about, like, camping clean with ferns, with rosemary, with herbs, with gentle florals. It's beautiful.
I gotta say, for the third one in the series, this is oddly intriguing to see what's going to be next on this journey.
Right. I'm thinking something boozy, something dark, something with a lot of rum, maybe lavender going on in there. Who knows?
Maybe.
So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be 7-year-old Marcus growing up in Richmond, California, where the most mysterious and wondrous thing in your life is that rerun of Three's Company that's going to be on at 5:30 on KTVU-TV. But just about the time your favorite aunt gets you a subscription and you open your mailbox to find Volume 1 of the Time Life Mystery Series, you are going to get your own. So head over to their website at phoenixartisanaccoutrements.com. Or even better, do it by way of the link in the description. It's an affiliate link, which lets them know that we sent you, and it gives us back a small percentage of the sale, which we'll probably spend on soap so we can make more episodes. It's at no cost to you, and we would be grateful. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Doppelgänger Continuum Series number 3. This is a magic trick of oak moss. If you're a little iffy about oak moss, and I feel like we all should be at first, the magic trick this does is to absolutely wrap it in everything that makes it glorious, so you can't even sense it off the top, or even during your shave. And then, the splash, in my experience, as it wore down, left the oak moss alone by the end. And if that's not a way to entice you to love this, or at least explore what it's capable of, and then sensing it on its own at the end, this is your pony. And I think this is what this series is for. Education, experience, and fun. Thank you, Douglas and Fran. We look so forward to number 4. Welcome to Messages.
So for our July giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get this custom brush from Opus Brush.
Yeah, y'all, Craig made it just to give away on our show, and all you have to do to be eligible to receive this fine brush in the mail is to send an email to WeSentYou@theBarbershopDuet.com so that we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways, and then check back on our first August episode when we choose our lucky winner on the show.
Best of luck.
Well, Douglas and Fran, between Fran's Space Cream, this Doppelgänger Continuum series, and the Advent calendar that's coming this December, thank you for bringing such joy, mystery, and wonder into this hobby. It is deeply felt and greatly appreciated.
It's super fun getting to get the lens behind the scenes at the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, just to these scents, like you always are surprised in the best of ways.
And this way, we know what scents might have inspired Douglas and Fran to create Atmodic or the beach or some of our most favorite scents.
I cannot wait to open our next package. Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.